Hello, everyone. This is Val with Dragonfly Crystals here with my wonderful co-hosts, Sisters of the Mystical Tarot group. Uh, and we'll start with Marina, beautiful Marina from Heart Center
Hey.
Tarot, and Shari, Voices from the Swamp, and Allie, Heart and Soul Connected. Um,
Yeah.
Thank you, ladies, for joining me today. And we got a great topic today.
We
And
do.
thank you all for joining us in the chat. I know people are still coming in, and we'll talk at the
Yes.
end of the show about what we're all doing on our channels. But right now, I just want to go to the topic as you're all wandering in, and this is really it's kind of a very important topic because we in the chat, I notice, and I also tend to once in a while give my power away with my sacred permission.
Mm-hmm.
At the moment, where is a moment when you stopped asking and started allowing, uh, the universe to provide? In other words, am I moving? It's in the chat a lot. Am I going to get this job?
Oh.
You're asking for permission.
Uh-huh.
Every
Uh-huh.
time you go outside yourself, you didn't give yourself, as Daryl Anka says in Bashar, you didn't give yourself the permission card.
Uh, yeah. Wow.
So, this is really something that you might do without conscious thought. Catch yourself,
Mm-hmm.
catch yourself every time you might do that, because that is where you're leaking your power and you're giving it away to someone else who you think is going to tell you what your destiny is. You take the power back and decide what your destiny will be according to what is coming in for you through your heart, through your meditations. And really, there comes a moment in everyone's path when we realize something quite quietly profound, and that is much
Mm-hmm.
of our exhaustion um, did not come from doing too much, but rather it came from asking too often.
Yep.
Am I going to move soon? Am I going to move? How many times did I ask? You all know out there how many times I have
Yeah.
asked, am I going to move? Am I going to move to Reno? Whatever. And I suddenly,
Yep.
I don't know, 6 months ago, I shut that down and I stopped that nonsense
Mm-hmm.
because really it's just saying I don't have the power to create my destiny. I don't have the power to bring it
Yes.
forward, and I have to see if somebody else can see if it's out there for me. Well, you decide it's out there for you, and you decide, you drive it, you drive your ship. So every time you go out and you ask, think about that. So,
Mm-hmm.
I want to go to all of you and ask you, in your life, in your well, all of you have beautiful practices, and you have also met with a lot of people who've had things in their lives that have come up, and they've had readings with you, and you've helped everyone. How how does this roll out for you um, in those situations, Marina, with people that you deal with, or and even people in the chat where we see
Mm-hmm.
and we recognize within ourselves sometimes we do still give our power away
Yeah.
and we don't give
Yes.
ourselves the permission slip, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
Marina.
Exactly. And that's it's funny that you say that because there's a lot of people that particularly when it comes to readings and so on that start off with when will I, when um, and I think that sometimes uh, those those questions, they don't trigger me, but they I almost feel sometimes sorry for someone. It's like, when?
Yeah.
when you decide.
Mhm.
You decide. Um, and it's as a sovereign being, I have the power to decide what's going to happen in my life. Okay.
Mhm.
And I'm the architect of my life, my path, my journey. So it's up to me to determine how it's going to go and what I'm going to do and so on. I can consciously and willingly consult with someone else and ask their viewpoint, but I'm not making a decision based on what they tell me.
Mhm.
Right. And have you ever thought
So
when somebody told you something, you go, no. You're,
yes,
you take the ship back and you right then and
yeah,
there,
Yeah.
no.
no, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, because there's the, the idea that I need to ask someone for permission to do anything is um, it doesn't feel natural to me anymore. There was a time when absolutely it did. When I was younger, when that was, you know, m- my life was ruled almost by group consensus. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
that, oh, I'm about to do this. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? And then it was like, okay, well, I don't want to disappoint anyone, and I'll hurt their feelings if I don't do that. So it was like living by committee. And it wasn't until I think I was in my early 40s that it just dawned on me one day, why are you doing that? Why why can you not trust yourself enough to know that you are a grown woman? You you were
Also known
We've
as
raised.
all
grown
heard the
ass
pause there,
woman.
Marina. We know the word that
Yes,
fits in there.
yes,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. And my I was born with a functioning brain. Why not use it? Why
Mm.
why why give my power away to someone else, so that whatever decision they make for me, it doesn't affect them, it affects me.
Yes.
Yep.
So,
Exactly.
I what am I going to do? I'm going to go back to them and say, well, I did what you told me and it didn't work out. What's their answer going to be? It's just my 2 cents worth. You decided,
You see
right?
everyone that responsibility, taking responsibility for your life, and you wouldn't go to back to the reader and say it's your responsibility if this happens or doesn't happen
Yes.
because it isn't. It's
Well,
your
there are some people that say, "Well, you told me this," and
yes, and it
yeah,
isn't. That is you're giving your power away if you think you abdicate your
Yeah.
right.
responsibility. It
That's right.
still falls on you no matter what.
Yes.
Right?
Mhm.
It's just
Right,
like
Allie?
somebody
Yeah.
asking
And
for a
yeah,
reading,
Marina.
whether if it's in chat or in
Yeah,
person or whatever, and they
Mhm.
ask you about a particular topic,
yeah.
and you give them a reading, you tell them what you're seeing, and then 2 days later they're dragging it back out of the closet again and
Giving
want
their
to beat
power
that
away
same
again,
horse all
running
over it.
in
It's
a
like,
flagpole. Right.
yeah, like leave it in the closet. You
Yeah.
dealt with it. You put it away. Leave it alone and move forward. And that can get frustrating as someone that's trying to help others to see some people that just continuously drag it back out. They drag it back out of
Yes.
that garbage heap. To,
Well, I think the important thing too um, is that as if you take an opportunity to just throw something by one of your favorite readers and see what the flavor is, all you're doing is seeing what the probabilities are out there. What's the strongest probability? They're going to read that thread,
Yes.
and you're going to take that information and go, oh, I need to work harder on this probability that I really want to bring forward and drop. So you're getting
Mhm.
information to utilize for your responsibility of bringing forward what you want. That's what you're getting a reading for, not to say, oh, yeah, you'll win the lotto on Tuesday.
Yes.
So,
Yes. Exactly.
Whoever gives me that information, I'm not sharing it with you. I'm sorry, but
That's right. Yeah.
But
And
so
and I've said this in the past. If my abilities, if my guides were such that they would share that information with me, I wouldn't be on YouTube. I would be off on a little island, and there would be several cabana boys who would be looking at me, and I would just need to lift
yes,
my hand, and they would bring me my drink of choice or my food of choice. So,
you would
yeah,
rub my feet, massage my back,
yeah,
clean my house, scrub
ex-
the toilet.
so
Yes.
so
exactly.
so
Yeah, all those things.
we're talking about those areas of your life where maybe you don't even realize you're abdicating your responsibility for your own choices by giving your power away, by not giving yourself permission to make your own decisions. You're still asking for permission from other people to have something happen in your life. It doesn't matter if it's at work, it's your husband or your kids or anything. How many times have you said, honey, do you want to? Instead of going up and say, let's do blah, blah, blah. I think this would be great. Huh?
Mhm.
Think
Yeah.
about the way you frame something. Oh,
Yeah.
I can make a choice and decide which movie we're going to. Oh, I can decide where we're going on vacation. Oh my gosh, I can give myself permission to go on a spiritual journey, go on a retreat. Wow, really? Yeah, you can. And so,
Yep.
thank you, Marina. And Allie, what's your thoughts on this? Permission, still asking permission.
Yeah.
It can look so many different ways, and people may not realize.
Yeah,
Oh,
because I had a different take on this, so I'll let you
yeah,
know what my take was. But I
yeah,
first have to say that your intro reminds me of Stuart Smalley on SNL, where like you're good enough and God doggone it, I like you.
yeah,
And
exactly right.
it's really sweet. I love it. And I'm not making fun. I think it's cute. But
Yes.
I thought about it in my own life, and it was permission to talk back, and I'm not fast enough with my retort or say the wrong thing. And then I think, oh, I should have said this.
It's all the same thing. Yes, exactly. And it
Yeah.
includes all of that. Your
All of that.
permission to speak up, your
Yeah.
permission or for anything in your life.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So it
absolutely.
took me a long time. It's probably taken me at least 60 years, honestly.
Yeah.
My mother, again, God bless her, she took away my agency because
Mhm.
I wasn't allowed to argue with her. And
Yeah.
so I couldn't speak up and speak back. And I always fall into that trap if something happens. And I don't like that, but I recognize it. And I have given away my agency or my power many, many times. In fact, Val, you've said to me, Allie, don't worry about that. Don't worry, and it's
Yeah.
been a
Don't be-
real wonderful way
Yeah.
for me to learn how to do that. So
Absolutely.
I absolutely feel, there's that people pleaser type thing. And,
Yes,
you
we
don't want
all,
people mad at you.
who didn't grow up with that? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love that you are talking about it in terms of your permission to speak up, your permission to advocate for yourself in your
Right.
life. It is all about that. It's everything. Any way in which in your life, in all the gamuts, all the ways, all the avenues, you don't need permission from somebody else. Give yourself the permission.
That's right.
Yeah.
I've been shut down many times by ex-husbands or whatever. They just look at you with a steely glance, and it's like, you don't have the power, lady. I'm in charge. And it's been horrible for me. And it took forever for me to get back with that. But
it's funny because, it's like we have our repeating pattern from childhood.
We do.
The mother-father thing, whatever you had going on in that repeating pattern exists in your first relationships and marriages. It does, because that's where you're learning to jump over the hurdle of that and stand in your own power. So you might, we all have those things that we looked at in our relationships that we kind of carried from childhood.
Sure.
But I love that you framed it in your agency, your showing up in the world and the power of who you are. And that was your big hurdle to jump over.
It was.
Your mom.
It was.
So it was to your catalyst to move beyond.
To move forward. And the same
and what
thing
do you do? What do you do for a living? You talk in front of people.
Yeah, that's true. And in the faculty meetings, I am just a part-timer. So if I have something to say, I'll say it and everybody will go, crickets. So I got to the point where I'm not saying anything anymore. And
now you've gotten to the wisdom stage of, I'm not casting my pearls.
Right. Before you swine. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
You're not going to waste your breath. In other words, you already know what's up. And so I love that. I love that. And Shari, what about you in terms of your situation? Or
so much of what everybody else has said, kind of some of my notes I was jotting down as we were talking. I think a lot of it of why people have difficulty taking back their power, of exuding their own power, is because, like Allie brought up, with parents. You grow up, you have to ask permission from your parents. You have to ask permission from your teachers. You have to ask permission from your pastor or your priest or whatever. And as you get older, then it transfers to you're asking of your friends, because you want to fit into the crowd of
your boss,
whatever group that you're in. So you're asking for agency from them to validate something that maybe you want. And that can also go into relationships with boyfriends and whatnot. And then later with husbands, suddenly, all of your decisions are couched under, well, what do you want to do, honey? Instead of, I want to go eat at the steak restaurant tonight. And if you don't want to go, you can stay home. But I'm going to the steak restaurant.
And Shari, isn't that there a double whammy too with women doing it more than men? Men won't abdicate their power like women will abdicate their power in those relationships. Oh, honey, what do you want to do? No,
it's very much. And I think it's more true with probably our generation of women because of the way we were brought up and the times that we were brought up, where women were still considered property, basically.
Property, chattel.
Their fathers, their brothers, their husbands, whatever. You couldn't own anything on your own. You couldn't do anything on your own without a man signing off on that for you. And so it was women that started growing up after, say, the late 80s that started learning that, hey, I can make my own decisions for myself. Of course, a lot of us still default back to that asking permission stage.
Yeah.
When you get to the stage yourself personally, when something finally clicks in your brain and you're like, I don't have to ask permission to go here or wear that.
Like Marina said, it's like 40-ish or in that age, you finally go, hey, screw that.
I'm a grown-up woman.
It's like, if you don't want that, exactly. You can stay your butt home. I'll see you in a couple of hours. I'm going out to eat.
Yep.
And it's true, because when you look at, say, marriage relationships or just long-term relationships between two people, in the early stages, it's all about giving away your agency and asking what does the other want to do. Let the other one make the decision. And you don't want to rock the boat because you want everything to be, oh, beautiful, wonderful, fine. And then you get to a certain point where you're like, oh, screw that. I mean,
you might even get resentful because you've abdicated your power too many times.
Exactly.
And then you don't even know why you're angry.
I know, that's true. And this happened with me recently. I was I wanted a dumpster to get rid of some stuff. And he
Yeah.
says to me, no, we're not getting rid of anything. Everything is fine. I don't want to get rid of anything. And finally I said, I'm the breadwinner and I'm going to do it. And TS, tough stuff. And the same thing happened with something else like that. Taking my dogs for training. Oh, I don't want to spend $5,400. I said, guess what? It isn't your money.
Yes, exactly.
And I don't want to be petty like that. But really, it took me a long time to be the breadwinner.
Well, and I think with women, that has been a big catalyst for women of being able to own up to their own agency, is actually being the breadwinner in the house, or being an equal partner of breadwinning in the house, where it's like, I'm not sitting around waiting for you to hand me an allowance to, like I was a good little girl for the week and you're going to give me my allowance to go spend. It's like, now we're at the point where it's like, it's my effing money and I'll spend it the way I want,
Exactly.
and kind of go from there. And in a way, you can't really blame men for that, because they were brought up to behave and think that way as well, but from the other aspect of it. And you have a lot of men who give away their agency.
That's very true.
Always, always wanting to do what the wife does, because you've always been taught happy wife, happy life.
Life.
I mean, it can go both ways. There's no doubt about that.
Exactly.
What changes when we stop explaining ourselves? What shifts when we stop explaining ourselves inside of us? When we just say, when we just do, we don't even say, I have permission. No, we just do what we do, and we stop explaining anything about it.
I think age has something to do with it.
We take the power. I mean, when we stop explaining, what actually changes in our lives when we actually are embodying the power that we are and living our lives according to, I feel like going to Starbucks right now. See ya. Whatever. You don't have to ask for permission to do any of those things. And I'm sure at our age, we definitely don't ask for permission. But I know it's funny when you go back to the first part of this, where in life do we still ask for permission? It's funny when you go back to your childhood. I think it's pretty much constant that our parents never asked us our opinion of anything.
I was lucky that mine did.
That is lucky.
My mom was a single parent raising kids in the 60s and 70s. So she fought a lot of battles for her own agency. And, because I saw how tough it was for her, it kind of made me bristle a little bit at anybody that wanted to put me under their thumb and, well, you're going to do it because I said so. That wouldn't play. That's not what I'm going to be doing. So, but I think age has something to do with it. You get to a certain stage in your life where you kind of look around and you're like, wait a damn minute. I've not done anything that I have wanted to do, or I've not experienced the things that I wanted to experience. And that all comes with, it's kind of like, I don't know, like a light bulb goes off in our brains saying, hold the phone. I don't need permission to go back to school and study this, or go to Hawaii and find out what that's like, or, whatever, it is that you may want to do. I think it's just a combination of things between just getting more mature. And as we get older and as we gain that maturity, we're able to look around and look back at our own lives and be like, what the hell was I thinking? I mean, I've had those epiphanies all the time. Like, why did I ever do that? That's the last thing in the world I would have wanted.
Conditioning. That's what it is.
Hindsight
Yeah.
is
Yes.
2020
Yeah,
for
it
sure.
is.
Mhm.
And so
It is. It's. I sometimes I think that I mean I can remember certain instances in my life, where you go along to get along.
yeah,
Where we're going out to eat and we're going to this restaurant. It's not one of my favorites, and someone always making that decision and being there trying to figure what I'm going to have from the menu because I really don't like any of it. And okay, I've just wasted 3 hours of my life to do something that really I did not enjoy. And at the end of the night, it was like, oh my gosh, that was so much fun. No, no, it wasn't.
oh my gosh,
And so,
Yeah.
yeah,
I get
I
yeah,
it.
lived through that.
and getting to the point that that person or people would say, hey, we're going to such and such, we're going to this place on Saturday. Do you want to come along? No, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Exactly. You gave yourself permission,
And you don't have to give a reason.
and you don't have to explain,
Right.
which is
It's
the perfect
learning that no is a complete sentence.
this is the perfect segue to talk about asking for permission doesn't always look like seeking approval out loud. So it often appears as waiting for the right time, explaining yourself before acting, softening your truth so others will feel comfortable, looking for signs, confirmations, or validation before trusting what you already know, delaying embodiment until you feel ready enough, or, the Akashic field shows that permission seeking is not a flaw. It is a learned survival strategy from dense realities where belonging required compliance, just like Marina was talking
Yes.
about.
Mhm.
But you are no longer living in that density. The question becomes, where are you still asking internally or externally for something your soul has already authorized? What
Yeah.
the shift? Yeah, the shift
Yeah.
is effort.
Mhm.
It goes to allowance, goes to embodiment. So effort says I must push, prove, or prepare, justify, and earn. Effort carries tight shoulders, overthinking, constant recalibration, the feeling of almost there but not quite.
Second
Effort,
guessing.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm.
Effort was necessary in early phases, but it built skill structure and discernment. We all went through this. But effort is not where mastery lives. What does allowance say? I let what is already true move. Allowance is not giving up, it's standing down from resistance. Allowance feels like exhaling, spaciousness, trust without urgency, action that feels clean and not charged. This is where the nervous system begins to realize it is safe now, not someday, but now. And
Okay.
when you're in when you're in embodiment says nothing. It doesn't explain. You're in embodiment. It doesn't announce itself. It simply is.
It is.
No, thank you. In other words, you're not going to that
Well,
lunch.
and I don't think it should be mistaken that we don't ask someone's opinion about something that we're
It
living with.
isn't. You're right. And
Right.
Right.
there's
Those are
always
two
this
different things.
paradox of things. Of course, you're going to want somebody's opinion about different things. It doesn't negate you going and asking anyone anything. Of course
Sure.
not.
Exactly.
So remember that this isn't a hard and fast cookie cutter square, you know.
Yes.
So, yeah, and embodiment simply is. So you no longer ask if it's okay. Is it okay if I? Yeah, you no longer seek mirrors. You don't seek mirrors.
Mhm.
Are
Yeah.
they like me?
You
Am
were
I
just
in
talking
their
about
head?
effort, the effort we put in. How many of us, especially women who move out into the corporate world, now the younger ones, maybe it's not so true, but our generation, it was true, where we stepped out into, corporate living, working, within the hierarchy there, and you give and give and give all of your effort to let the boss walk away with all the applause for what you busted your back doing for the last 6 months or something? How
Yep.
many women, and even some men, have gone through that where all of their effort is ignored and someone else is allowed to walk away with the credentials for it, and we don't feel like we have the power to speak out and say, wait a minute,
Well,
that's my work I've been doing for the last 6 months. You
I
didn't have
think,
to do with
yeah,
it.
that's a question for society's setup of
Yes.
businesses and companies, and how
Yeah.
we have a tier, a hierarchy, instead of
Right.
working shoulder to shoulder, a flat organization. So the old-fashioned tier may have to shift into a flat organization where everyone is the same. I don't care if you're the CEO or you're the accounting clerk, you're
Right.
all level.
Mhm.
That shifts everything to what are you bringing to the table, no matter what your position is. So
Right.
that's a whole nother subject.
Yes.
But you no longer narrate your becoming. You don't have to narrate. You move when you're in embodiment. You move as truth instead of talking about it. Yeah, you don't have to talk about it anymore. No, I'm not going. No, thank you. I'm not going. Boom.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why allowing is not passive. It is deeply sovereign. Allowance is often misunderstood as doing less. In truth, allowance is releasing negotiation with reality. You're not negotiating with reality. Sovereignty does not force. You're just standing in that sovereignty. You don't have to negotiate, Jack. You know what?
Exactly.
It's learning that no is an entire sentence in and of itself, and you don't need an excuse to back up that no.
You don't. You don't. And sovereignty does not convince. Sovereignty does not defend. Allowance is the moment when you stop petitioning life. You stop petitioning. Am I going to go on that trip? How's it going to turn out? You stop petitioning life and you start saying, I'm going to have a fabulous trip. Everything is going to be miraculously wonderful.
Yeah.
Boom.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
I love it.
Yes. And sometimes when I was able to change or alter some of my thinking, some of my perspective, the way that I view things, one of the first things that I heard when I took on that mindset that no, I'm the architect of my life. I get to make decisions. I determine where the kitchen is and where the bedrooms are and where the bathroom is. And I don't care if it doesn't look like your house. You design your own house the way you want. And having that sovereignty in making those decisions, what I often heard was, oh, it must be so nice to live in that world. As if there was something bad about it. Or, oh, you're just, you're seeing life through rose-colored glasses. Yes, I am. And it's a beautiful sight.
Yeah. Good for you, Marina.
It's better than looking through glasses that are poop colored, so.
I mean, and we get to have our own little mini universe. That's what we all do.
Yeah.
So what kind of universe do you want to create, for goodness sakes? Yeah.
Yes.
So where do we stop explaining ourselves, standing up for ourselves if we're told those things? That's what I want to know, because I remember I came up with a great idea and I told my boss and he thought it was, I don't know. And 2 months later he did it. And I said, yes, I'm glad you did that. He said, you didn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah, they don't remember those things because you're a non-entity.
A non-entity. That's correct. Yep.
So what do we learn from that? Implement our own ideas for ourselves.
Yeah, we could do this, we could do this.
Yeah, there you go. That too.
You got the crank working.
Yes.
Crank working.
Yeah.
So
I used to, when I was part of the corporate world, I used to, in the bottom of my desk drawer, I used to keep an SMA file. SMA stands for Save My Ass. And those were, yeah. If, anytime that I came up with something that was innovative, something that was new, that was whatnot, okay, I would email someone higher up to let them know that this is what it is. I would make a copy and I would throw it in my SMA file.
Yeah.
That way, if anyone else came by and said, well, I think we should blah, 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 I could pull it out and say, wow, that's the same thing that I mentioned to John 3 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good idea, John.
Yeah. If only I did.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you have to give yourself permission to advocate for yourself.
You really do. I
to
love
speak
that
up
aspect.
for yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Marina's
Yeah.
right.
And
Unapologetically.
Unapologetically.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
you have to be your own cheerleader, folks.
Yes.
You're going to.
Well, that's hard because so many of us are brought up to not toot our own horn.
Yeah.
Yes.
To stand back, if others want to toot your horn and say how wonderful you are, oh, that's fantastic. But don't say it about yourself. And it's like, well,
yes.
Sometimes if I don't say it about myself, it's not ever going to get said, either because other people just don't realize that it's something I'm doing, or they're too busy trying to figure out how to get their own horn tooted to worry about tooting mine. So,
So at some point, the corporate world is going to change into flat organizations, because we're not going to have this hierarchical kind of situation, because everybody's going to wise up. They're going to see the truth of this whole thing. And nobody's going to want to work and do a job that doesn't mean anything. So there's going to be some changes that'll happen. That's just how it's going to be. But so sovereignty does not defend. Allowance is the moment you stop petitioning life and start cooperating with what already knows how to move through you. This is allowance. It feels calm but powerful, but still unmistakable. So, it isn't an intellectual thing. But somatically in the body, you really feel that moment where I don't need their approval. I don't need their permission. What?
It's a very empowering moment when that moment hits you.
But really, it's hard in hierarchical, just like Allie was bringing up, it's hard in hierarchical corporate world to put an idea out there and keep ownership of the idea, because when it gets up there and gets implemented, it's going to be the top feeders that are going to get the accolades for their, what a great manager you are, that you let's face it. So that's a whole different thing. You have
a lesson that we all should have learned from the movie Working Girl, when at the end she's able to prove it was her idea because she had all of the files that led her to that process of let's try doing it this way.
She was the better investor mind, the better analyst, the better. So she could have done it without anybody if she had a broker's license, but who knows about that. But anyway, I mean, this is what we're talking about, is she wasn't going to give her power away. She did have her evidence of everything, that she came up with everything, because her boss was going to take the kudos for all the great investments. And it's true in life to like Marina said, keep the save your ass file.
Yes.
Sure.
And what drops away when you are no longer proving your worth to exist? What is dropping away when you are no longer proving your worth to exist? Why do we have to prove our worth to exist? No.
We're free.
No.
We're freedom. Yeah.
worry drops away,
Yeah.
anxiety drops
Yes.
away,
Yes.
the fear of the future, fear of tomorrow, fear of a lot of different things just drop away when you realize that I can take care of myself. I
Absolutely.
can absolutely take care of myself. You know what? It's yeah, I don't need to be, you know, I don't need to be afraid of the raindrops. I've survived storms.
Absolutely.
Raindrops are nothing. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
had that epiphany after my husband died, and I moved to Arizona. Didn't know anybody, didn't have a job, had nothing.
Yes.
It was like, I need to go somewhere where nobody knows who I am and figure out who I am, because I had always been someone's daughter, someone's wife, someone's
Well,
mother.
and you didn't want to drown in grief, so
Exactly.
you switched environment to give yourself a clean starting place.
Exactly. Because there were people who kept wanting to pigeonhole me
Yes.
into a certain kind of grief or a certain way to
Yeah.
react or a certain
Yes.
way to behave.
Yeah.
And it was like, I don't know if that's what I want anymore. Because at that point, I was like, I don't know what I want to do or be when I grow
Yes.
up, So I literally ran away from home 5 states away to figure it out. And it was hard. I mean, it was really hard, especially that first year, to not tuck tail and go back home
Yeah.
as a defeatist and slip back into those little slots that everybody had me in before.
And that's a beautiful segue, Shari, into the transmission angle, which is your nervous system, which is about relief and trust.
Yeah.
It doesn't ask people to do anything. It gives permission to stop asking for permission. So this is, you are not late. You are not behind. You are not missing anything. You are simply allowed. When the body feels allowed, life reorganizes itself effortlessly, like Allie in her dumpster. Boom,
Yes.
boom.
Yeah.
Done.
Done. Boom. Shifting tons of energy, shifting everything.
Yep.
Boom. It's happening. It's happening. No one's shutting it down. So, I know these are just activations for all of us. I no longer ask to be who I am. I no longer ask to be who I am. I allow what I am to move. I allow what I already am to move. That sentence alone is a threshold. It really is an amazing thing. So, yeah, the whole idea about that. And somebody had a great question. Well, I'm sure there's a lot because I haven't been looking at the chat. I was looking at my teleprompter. Yeah, and Wild Lilac, I still feel the reverberations of my dominating father and the fear regarding men 60 years later. Yeah, it's true. The impact of our parents and our upbringing. Yeah, it's really, it is true. And let's see, I'm just reading through the chat to see what other people are saying. Yeah, and Barbara Hart Love is saying, what I learned a lot, work on myself is I show up and be me, and I'm not responsible for your reaction. That's a huge thing, not to take somebody else's reaction to you into you.
Yeah.
If you
don't take it personally. Yeah.
Take it personally. It is not your thing. It's their thing.
Yeah.
So, that is a huge evolutionary step when you go, oh, look at them reacting. And you go,
yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Yeah. I realize that I am not everyone's cup of tea, and that is okay.
Yeah,
there is nothing wrong with me and nothing wrong with you. That is absolutely okay.
I don't care if it's your in-laws. I don't care if it's your kids or your stepkids. I don't care who it is in your life.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Mhm.
That's fine. You don't have to worry about it. It's not your problem. It's not your thing.
Yeah.
Everybody has to take responsibility for their own feelings.
Well,
And
you know,
So how do you get out of
imagine
the?
what we're doing here online. When I first started, anytime I got a negative comment from somebody, it would just be like destroy me, and to the point that I'm like, oh, I should just stop doing this. And it took a little while before I realized, if they don't like what I say or how I say it or my attitude, they can go watch somebody else. I'm not forcing them to watch my channel.
no,
And it
that's
seems
why
like
you don't have to.
other people that
You,
do
you-
enjoy what I do.
yeah, you don't have to defend yourself or what's on your channel.
Nope.
Exactly. It's like I'm just like I don't need to listen to that. You're gone, and
Yeah.
Mhm.
Delete.
I love this. Leah's asking, how about the excellent movie? It's She Devil, Roseanne Barr. Yeah, and She Devil. Oh man, she got a lot of. Let's just say, she wasn't really advocating for herself in her life.
Mhm.
It's more passive aggressive where
Yeah,
she went.
that's her.
I don't think I've ever seen it. So
That was it.
Yeah.
It was a
And
passive.
Allie, you were asking or going to ask a question.
Yeah, I'm just
What were you
wondering,
going to say?
how do we get out of the trap of somebody saying, you always do this, you always do that, you always, always, always. And of course,
Okay,
I'm
the trap.
not always.
That trap is.
Mhm.
The rule of engagement is you may only speak about the present moment.
Mhm.
Period. It's only in the now. You cannot bring up the past.
Yep.
Period.
That sounds good. That sounds
That
good.
is how you do it. And you have to set the rules of engagement.
just
Because
like making it personal.
What you're doing when you bring up the past is you're trying to,
One up somebody, right?
you're judging someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not kosher. You
Right.
can't speak. So every time somebody brings up the past, I'm going to direct this now to this now moment.
Mhm.
Yep.
And what is going on in our lives in this now moment. Being in the past is back there. It's
Yes.
way back there. Why keep dragging it forward and dragging it forward like a chain? I've got a ball and chain. I'm going to drag the past.
Yeah.
I'm going to
be very
into the now
triggering
moment.
for other people that are involved
Yep.
peripherally because you don't know what's happened to them in the past. That you continuing to drag out your stuff is gonna make
Dragging
it
out the
worse for them.
past. Yeah. Dragging out the past is getting tied to the past. It is not the enlightened now moment where you
Right.
create.
Yeah.
It really isn't the
It's
moment.
not the direction that you're going in. You've already been there, done
Yeah.
that, past
Overdone,
it.
gone. Move on.
I'm not going back.
If you want to revisit
and-
the past, you're going to have to do it on your own. I'm not
Yes.
engaged in the past. I'm here now. Now, if you want to talk
Yeah.
to me about the present moment, I'm all ears. What do you want to talk about?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's Allie. Very often that that is meant to put the other person on the defensive,
Yes,
right?
they're judging
Yeah,
you.
yes, exactly, and they're trying to get under your skin
But they're
because
judging
they
you for
know that
something.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, whatever the argument or discussion is happening at the moment, I know I can't win.
Mhm.
So rather than think about me losing, I'm going to say, yeah, well, you always bring this up. You always do that. You always. You're right. I do.
The other rule is you can only talk from your own feelings. So
Yes.
you can't say, why do you always? I feel this way when this happens. They have to get in touch with their own feelings to talk to you in the now moment.
Mhm.
I feel this way when you, not anything about the past. This makes me, and then they have to get in touch with their feelings. Oh, I guess I just feel irritated. Yeah, well, that's your problem. Get over your
Yes.
irritation. I'm saying they might come to the epiphany when they have to touch their own feelings.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If
So
they
that-
don't get up and walk away, because that's
Well,
usually what they do.
if they get up and walk away, they aren't
And
ready for
that's
the
fine.
truth.
That's the end
No,
of the argument.
they
Yeah,
aren't
that's fine.
ready for the truth.
Okay.
They don't want to face it, and they only want to argue and
Mhm.
point fingers, because bringing up the past is pointing fingers and judging.
Yeah.
So those things about staying in the present moment and not talking about how this makes me feel. Those are
Yes.
the keys.
Yeah.
And anyone who is, it's called fair fighting, everyone. It's not even fighting. It's
Exactly.
it really is. It's from many, many years ago. You never bring up the past. You only talk about how this makes me feel.
Mhm.
When you
Yeah.
never talk about the past, and you never
Yeah.
point fingers at somebody and blame them. You say, I feel this way
Mhm.
in this situation.
Sure.
That means that you're taking responsibility for how you feel, but they won't realize it. They just have to frame it that way.
Yeah.
You can Google it. It really isn't,
Yeah.
it's an old fashioned kind of thing, but it really brings you back to the present moment.
Yep.
And
Mm-hmm.
it breaks up the cycle. Breaks up this. If you're going to live in the past, I can't talk to you right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am here right now. If you want to talk about right now, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
That was then. This is now.
yeah, it's almost like you have to teach people how to communicate in
Yeah.
this now moment.
Especially if they were with a partner and they never fought.
Exactly, which is
Yes.
a really
Yes.
big
Awful.
misnomer. Like my husband, I'm going to tell you this real quick story. His parents never fought in front of him. He thought people didn't fight. He didn't understand fighting in a marriage.
That's good.
He never saw it. And later in years, he asked his mom, did you and dad fight? Oh, we did all the time. We were in the bedroom disagreeing.
Yeah.
But he thinks he would get nervous stomach and sick to his stomach. I mean, he's been married before. And he'd think there's something terribly wrong with my marriage because they fought. Yeah. It's because he didn't get to see an example. He didn't. He never got the example. So, yeah, he got a nervous system overload and he would get ulcers.
Yes. Yeah. That's an expectation that is just well, you can't live up to that expectation. I mean, it's, you know, you're not going to get along with everyone.
You aren't. You're going to have disagreements. You're going to need to clear the air. Everyone in close proximity is going to go through things.
Yes.
But learning to just walk away from it, I've found this is what I'm going to do. And I hear the argument and I just walk away from it. And I said, no, I'm going to do it, and that's different. That's different than I would have.
You took your power.
I did.
Back and you said, I give myself permission to do what I need to do for myself.
Right. Yeah.
You stood in your power, you did it, and it feels good. It feels centered and balanced. It feels like I did what I needed to do and no one got in my way. I was going to take.
Amen.
Hey.
That's right. Yeah.
So those are powerful things we talked about in this episode. So I really, thank all of you for joining us. And we're going to go around and ask what's coming up on all of your channels in the last few minutes. All of you, thank you for your engagement and everything that you had to say about this. It is a very deep subject because you might be giving your permission away and not know it. So, but like Allie says, there are times when things come up and you're going to ask people's opinions. You're going to, don't think that you can't.
Right. No,
and don't think that when you go out, you can't let somebody else's opinion of where to go.
Yeah.
That's where you end up going. It's okay. But if you really feel like, oh God, not that restaurant again, don't go, or say, you know what? I'm not feeling that restaurant.
No, thank you.
So, right. So Marina, what do you have coming up on your channel? What do you want people to know?
Well, tomorrow, Val is going to join me for episode 164 of Messages for Lightworkers, and that's at 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And then at 7 p.m., it's Golden Girls, and we're going to be on Judy's channel this time. Yeah, we're making her jump in the deep end of the pool. And
Good.
it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Friday, I've got on the 13th, I've got at 3 p.m., I'm going to be on Sun Psychic Jean's channel. We're going to be doing some readings. At 5:30 p.m., I've got Cool Crone. That will be on Colleen's channel. And then on Saturday at 6 p.m., the lovely Trish James is going to be joining me, and we're going to do some readings for the folks. So that's pretty much what I've got for the rest of the week. And go over to YouTube, look in the posts. I usually post what I'm going to be up to for the upcoming week. And yeah, you can find out where I am, who I'm with, and what we're doing.
Thank goodness. So
there.
Like you have a lot of things on your schedule. And if you want a reading or book classes with Marina, go to marinasheartcenteredtarot.com. And then we have Allie. Allie, what's for you?
I'm going to be on with Denise Fletcher at noon tomorrow. And then Sylvia and I haven't worked with her for a while, at 5 o'clock on her channel. Mm-hmm. And then Friday, I'm on with Val Bradshaw and Marina for our makeup session of Story in the Cards.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. Yes.
That's all right. And I'm also going to be on with Sarah, and we're going to talk about Reiki on Friday. And Terry and Jean are going to be on with me I'm going to be on Terry's channel, and we're going to do our work on Sunday at 10 a.m. Also, just a reminder, if you're interested in signing up for ancestral healing, my class starts on March 1st. It's 4 classes. It is 90 minutes and really not very expensive, like $44. So
that's fantastic. And they can go to heartandsoulconnected.online to sign up for classes and for readings from Allie or Akashic record readings. Allie does a bunch of readings, as does Marina. And so thank you, Allie, for that. And Shari does readings as well. And you can connect with her by her email address, which is
swampvoices@gmail.com. That's the address.
It's also in the description. And what do you have coming up, Shari?
Well, tomorrow night, Golden Girls. Judy is jumping from the frying pan into the fire. See how she does. And Friday, I've got Diane G on Friday afternoon for Akashic readings, cord cutting, personal readings, and whatnot. And then a little bit later, I'll be joining up with Amy for our monthly mystery show, and we're gonna cover Friday the 13th and why it's such a big deal. What is the myth and legends behind Friday the 13th? How much is factual and how much is BS is kind of what I want to look at. And then Saturday, I'm doing a special Valentine's Day show with Nath. And so we'll be on his channel for that. And then, of course, the slumber party Saturday night, which is going to be Valentine's Day themed. Since it's on that day, I figure might as well one last push for that. And that's about it for the rest of this week. So
that's a lot. You guys have a lot going on. As Marina said, I have messages for lightworkers tomorrow with Marina on Heart Centered Tarot. And then I thank you all for joining us. It's just amazing.
What have you got going on, Val?
Oh, well.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, Val, what you got happening?
You can sign up for the Akashic Record Reading class, which starts March 14th. And also, you can go to dragonflycrystals.store, not .com, .store. And you can also sign up for, well, you can get readings from me as well, and Akasha record readings and all kinds of things. But we have a Val and Arthur. We still have a few spaces available for February 14th. You can still sign up for that at dragonflightcrystals.store. And you can get readings from Arthur and I in a little group setting of 10 people. So sign up for that if you feel drawn to it. It is really a remarkable thing to be in that kind of a circle. It really answers all your questions as we answer in panel to all the messages from the guides and angels for everyone. It ends up being for everyone. So even though you are going to get 10 minutes of Arthur and I directly answering your question. So everyone, thank you for joining us. And whose channel is it on next? Sisters of the Mystical Tarot.
Mine.
Allie.
Allie next. Heart and Soul Connected. So you all go there for next week. And I'll be gone on vacation for 2 weeks. So I know you'll have a lot of fun.
We'll figure it out.
Thank you.
We'll do our best.
Love you guys. Bye,
Bye, everybody.